Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is our video of our first flight with our baby. We decided to take a really early flight at 6:10 a.m. At this stage of their life, they're probably waking up every 2 to 3 hours. So we figured, sure, let's do the 6 a.m. flight, which means we have to wake up at around 3 a.m. to allow us to get ready and to travel to the airport. So I woke up to Pump at 3 with the idea that in about 3 hours time I would be able to nurse him and also have bottles as backup. At this stage of my life, I think I was about 2 bottles ahead, so it was really good. But obviously you do what you have to do, right? Take formula, take expressed milk, take whatever backup you will feel comfortable with flying. I think it was around 3:30 we went to wake up Bob. I can't wait to watch these videos in the future. I think it's going to be such a great memory for us to look back and see how small he was. Aww. As Dad was feeding Bob, I went to the kitchen to make a little coffee, and here I'm just showing off. And I really don't know why I'm showing off, because it was a really average latte art pour. Like I said, extremely average. We also wanted some on-the-go breakfast so we didn't have to think too much about it, so just toasted some banana bread that I made the night before, and this is just us getting ready before waking Bob up. Good morning, darling. Hi, Marcocino. Hi, Bambino. Alright, so Dad was obviously carrying Bob in the baby carrier. He had a backpack and he was also going to take the car seat to check in. Hello, Bob. Aww. And whereas myself, I had a tote bag, I had the luggage with all of our stuff, baby, mom, and dad. And on top of the luggage, I had a diaper bag, which I actually used as a bag to store all of the milk, the breast milk that I had expressed, as well as my pump kit and some snacks for me. And I'll show you that later. So we're heading to Central Station right now. I think it's almost 4 a.m. We didn't plan for the rain, but thank goodness it's stopped at the moment, so it's just wet floors. Look at Sydney at 4 a.m. at Central Station, the lights. That's where we're headed. So as you can see, we actually decided to take public transport because we live really close to the airport. And to be honest, I think this was the first mistake that we made. As you can see, the next train is in 60 minutes, so we got there a little too early. So if you're flying at weird hours, just double check the schedule. Here is what I packed in my bag. So as you can see, I just had one of those foldable storage boxes at the bottom just to keep everything upright. But honestly, when it went through the security, the lady took the bag and lied it on its side. So definitely make sure that your milk, if it's in liquid format, is capped and covered. Talking about security, I wasn't able to film that part, but basically what happened was Dad took baby off carrier, I took baby in my arms and walked through security as Dad was taking care of all of the bags. Before going through security though, we did check that car seat, and based on whatever airline you're flying, if you're flying with an infant, they should allow you to check in some items for free. So just check their terms and conditions. Honestly though, looking back, I really regret taking that car seat. I would in the future just rent it from the car rental company, and I would have taken a travel pram instead. Ooh, so obviously as first-time parents' rooms were just not in our vision periphery forever until now. I highly recommend going to the one at the airport and doing a nappy change before you fly off. As you can see, we were the only ones here, lots of room, nice privacy. You're able to nurse, you're able to do a nappy change. Quick diaper change. And we're heading to the gate and I might get a coffee. At this stage, I also put on my nursing poncho, and I highly recommend that you take maybe 2 options with you. So the one that I had was a knit material, and it got way too hot for myself and Bob during the nursing. So if you have a lighter nursing cover or say like a little scarf, also take that just in case the temperature in the airplane fluctuates, which it really did for me during takeoff. It was extremely hot, and then during the flight it got pretty cold. Look at me here, I am so nervous. My hands are like, what am I doing? I think it's a bit of anxious energy for the first flight, right? But anyways, first recommended item is to take a little bit of a headrest for Bob. Because we took this really comfortable soft pillow. This pillow is from Muji and it's called the Mochi pillow. This was my number 1 tip. It just relieves any pressure off your hands and your wrists for having to hold the baby in your lap for so long. So I was able to just plop Bob down. In the overhead lockers. Your seatbelt can now be fastened. Headphones. So nor here nor there. We didn't use these for this flight. We found that a domestic flight didn't create too much noise, and he actually really liked the white noise. I don't think it was that loud, but potentially on an international flight, especially if you're sitting near the wings, I would take it just in case. Also had the infant seatbelt that they'll give to you once you go in, and then I think I was just getting myself ready. Okay, another mistake that I did was I had Bob's ticket. I had Bob's ticket attached to my ticket, but I went in without him, so it did raise an alarm once my husband went in with Bob. But in the end, it wasn't such a big issue. The air stewardess just came over to make sure that he was on my ticket, and all is well. And here is that infant seatbelt, which you have to loop through your own seatbelt.
To help us depart quickly, keep the aisle clear to allow other customers to continue boarding. Please only place large.
I actually booked through Qantas, but we ended up flying with Jetstar, so because it's a budget airline, do take some wipes and sanitize the area. Finally, Dad came through. Oh my goodness, I can't believe he's even carrying a baby and they're so tiny. Oh, look at his little dangly legs. Okay, so at this stage, keep them in the carrier or whatever position you have them in. If they are sleeping, just keep them in there as long as possible. And then take them off as they're doing the last cabin sort of check. So try to extend it as much as possible. By this stage, if they wake up and they become a little bit fussy, I think this is a really good time to nurse them. Although, my goodness, the plane that we took to go to Cairns had such a long taxi period that it kind of freaked me out. But because he was nursing, he actually nursed for a good 20 minutes, so thank goodness. So he was actually nursing that whole period during taxi and takeoff. And here he is, a little bit squirmy, but you know what? I didn't think about this prior to taking the flight, but in flight, they're just contact napping with you. So they're actually really happy, and it was so easy. He just felt soothed the whole time and he wasn't fussy at all. So here he is with that seatbelt around him, lying on the mochi pillow with a little bit of a pillow support, and the scarf was there to block sun. But the scarf became a little bit fidgety. Look at him smiling. So in the end, we actually used a hat, and I highly recommend to have either a little baby sun hat, because I actually had that in my check-in luggage, and we found that the cap that you'll see now was a little bit too heavy and it would bother him. So just take something that's like lightweight that you can put over them in case you've got those window shades up during takeoff, during landing, etc. As we landed, I also nursed him and everything went well. Honestly, he was not fussy at all during this flight. It was so surprising. And this is me carrying Bub out. I'm so sleepy after a feed. And then we did another diaper change at the parents' room. So yay, we finally made it. Got our bags, got to the car rental, got the car, and off we went. I hope you enjoyed this little video of our first flight. Hopefully some of the mistakes and tips come handy when you're ready to take your first flight with your newborn. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Otherwise, look forward to a lot more baby videos coming your way soon. Bye!